But first, Hillary Clinton's strategy now. Howard Wolfson is communications director for the Clinton campaign. Which of the candidates has the momentum right now as we go into this weekend and West Virginia next week?
Well, look, if you listen to the media, Senator Obama does. But
I'm listening to you.
Well, we believe that West Virginia is going to be a critically important contest. It's a critically important swing state. We lost it in 2000 and 2004 after winning it in 92 and 96. Senator Clinton has flatly predicted that she would beat John McCain in West Virginia if she's the nominee. We think we should be competitive there. Any of our candidates ought to be competitive there at the top of the ticket. Why isn't Barack Obama competing in West Virginia? Why isn't he doing better in West Virginia?
What does Hillary Clinton have that Al Gore doesn't have or didn't have, and John Kerry didn't have, and Obama doesn't have? What's her West Virginia plus?
Well, I don't want to denigrate any of our...
No, but you are. You're saying she can do something they can't do.
Well, that's not saying anything bad about them. It's saying something good about her. What she's been doing is connecting to blue-collar, working-class voters in a very special way. In Pennsylvania, in Ohio, around this country, Senator Clinton is speaking to their needs and concerns. And look, as a party, we've had problems winning these kinds of voters in the last two presidential elections. Senator Clinton is winning them in this primary, and she will win them if she is the nominee against John McCain.
Why are they preferring, by your argument, a Republican to Obama? Why would they go for McCain rather than Obama? Why would they do that?
Well, I'm not sure that they would. I'm saying that...
No, but you're suggesting they will.
I'm suggesting that he will have a much harder time, based on what has happened so far, of winning those voters than we do.
What's his problem? What's his shortfall?
I don't think it was helpful when he went to California and said that these voters are choosing guns or religion as a means to get out of their economic situations. That offended a lot of people. I don't think it's helpful when he says consumers, rather than oil companies, ought to pay the gas tax. Senator Clinton has a different position. So on policy, we're making the case to these voters, and we're appealing to them.
Let's take a look. Here's Senator Clinton talking to USA Today.
How does Hillary Clinton win the nomination? Well, Kathy, you know, there was just an AP article posted that found how Senator Obama's support among hardworking Americans, white Americans, is weakening again, and how the whites in both states who had not completed college were supporting me, and in independence, I was running even with him and doing even better with Democratic-leaning independents. I have a much broader base to build a winning coalition on.
Well, what's the point there, that she's better at white voters?
No. I think
she said it.
Yeah, she was referencing an AP story, referencing it accurately. But the point is that we are doing better with blue-collar voters. The point is we're doing better with
blue-collar voters.
You know,
that's what she said.
That's what the story says. That's what the AP story says.
Why are you afraid to use the word she uses, white?
Because race and gender have been very difficult and sensitive topics in this campaign.
Right.
It is a fact that we are doing better with those voters. I prefer to look at race and gender in an uplifting way. I don't think we obviously should be dividing.
Right. Let me ask you about how you can do this, because it's been asked about the candidate, Senator Clinton. If she continues on this road to say that the other candidate, who's African-American, can't get white votes, as she just did, she makes it very hard to open the door to backing him if that becomes the necessity, say, a week or 2 or 3 weeks from now. How does she go, potentially, from saying he can't get white voters to saying he'll be a great candidate?
Well, look, we think Hillary Clinton is going to be the nominee, so I'm not looking forward towards what we're going to do.
But she said she would back whoever the nominee is.
And of course she will. And
how can she do what she said she will do if she keeps talking about the fact that he can't get white voters?
There is no question that the differences between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are small compared to the differences between both Democrats and John McCain. And there is no question that Hillary will work her heart out for Barack Obama. If he's the nominee, I'm sure he would work his heart out for Hillary Clinton. We will do everything we can to coalesce the Democratic Party behind one of these candidates.
Let's talk about and I'm sure you've thought this when you go to bed at night. You've thought through the chances of how you're going to do, and everybody knows the odds are tough. But when you look through ahead, the West Virginia Tuesday, Kentucky and Oregon, Puerto Rico, Montana, South Dakota, and you look for that. And then you look forward to the floor of the convention come Denver the last week. And tell me how it's going to go from here to there.
Good. I appreciate it.
Give me this scenario for Clinton to win.
Right. We're going to have to do well in West Virginia. We've predicted we'd win it in November. We're going to have to show West Virginians just how we do that. People are going to have to look Tuesday night and say, Senator Clinton had a good night. Why is it that Senator Obama lost by such a large margin in West Virginia?
What's your marker?
I think if Senator Obama loses West Virginia by 15 points, it's a problem for him.
All right, go ahead.
I think
That's good.
superdelegates are going to look at that.
Go ahead.
Then we're going to have to do well in the remaining states.
Do you have to win the rest of them?
No, we don't have to win the rest of them. We have to do well in them. I think we're going to have to put points on the board. There's no question about it. We're going to have to do well.
Are you in play in Montana?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
You got the governor yet?
No.
You going to get him?
No, I don't think so. I think he said he would only go until after the contest.
You sure you don't have him yet? You're not hiding this guy. He's not corralled somewhere out there.
No.
I think he might be.
No.
I think he might be. Let's go.
You know something that I don't know.
Maybe so. Let's keep going now after the convention. You get on the convention floor, you go to the Credentials Committee.
Right,
if you don't win in the Credentials Committee, will you take it to the floor?
Well, let's make that point. So we're going to have to do well going forward in the upcoming states. Secondly, we believe that Florida and Michigan ought to be seated.
That's right. I know that. So let's move ahead. You can't win in the Credentials Committee before you get to the floor. Will you fight it on the floor?
I don't know that.
Why not? You say you're going to go.
No, I don't know that we're not going to win. My expectation is that the
Right, but are you willing to go all the way to win the nomination until the other guy gets the majority of total delegates? Are you willing to fight this, as the senator says?
We are committed to ensuring that those delegations are seated in the way that the primary voters voted.
But the only way to do that for sure and really make it happen is to go all the way to the floor and fight the credentials fight on the floor. Otherwise, you've given in before you've lost, because you don't know you've lost this fight for Florida and Michigan till you've taken it to the floor. Will you take it to the floor?
We're prepared to do whatever the rules allow to ensure that those
Well, that means you're going to the floor.
No.
That means this thing won't be over till the last week in August.
Our hope is that it will be over in terms of Florida and Michigan, decided on May 31st when the Rules Committee meets.
But that would require you to get what you want in that short period of time.
Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, you mean 73 delegates out of Michigan, and how many you want out of Florida? All of them?
No. We want them seated in the manner in which the voters voted.
Right.
Now,
same proportion.
We didn't win the states 100-0. Senator Obama got votes there.
Let's talk about how you get there. You go to the floor. You can see in your mind's eye this campaign lasting at least 3 or 4 more weeks, right, through June.
Absolutely.
So definitely through May 30, through the 31st, the meeting of the DNC.
Absolutely.
Credentials. And then you can see it going through Puerto Rico. When it comes time to fight for who's got the most elected delegates, pledged delegates, and if you lose that, if you come short, which is likely you will come short, can you add Puerto Rican votes to your claim of a popular vote victory?
Of course.
Even though they can't vote in the presidential election.
Well, they're participating in our, in our primary process.
But are you willing to say that you have a right to the nomination based on Puerto Rican votes?
Yes. Which votes are you going to exclude from the process? I've said yes.
Just people that are not American, are not voting in the American presidential election. That's all.
The Democratic Committee has decided that Puerto Rico ought to have a voice in this process, and that's the right thing.
No, I think it's interesting. I haven't heard you say this before. So in other words, those votes, even those people can't vote in the presidential election, will be your argument for why you should have the nomination to go in the presidential election.
Well, they will be part of an argument.
No, but is it part of your popular vote total?
Sure.
Well, that's one of the metrics.
Yeah, it is.
So you're going to argue this case?
We're going to argue that the popular vote total actually has a bearing, yes.
So it's going to be all the Florida votes cast when the other candidates, nobody campaigned down there, all the Michigan votes, even though your candidate was the only name on the ballot, and all the Puerto Rican votes, even though they can't vote in the presidential election. All that adds up to a You guys have pretty good metrics here.
I don't think we should be discriminating against certain
I would never. You can't.
And I'm sure you
don't play that card on me.
Well, but
I'm just asking. I'm only suggesting that
they're participating in our primary process.
I just think you smile because you guys are so devilish about this. You will come out with any metric known to man.
There is a primary in Puerto Rico in June. Should we not count it?
I think it's great.
Does Chris Matthews say cancel the primary in Puerto Rico?
Do we still have the canals? And I guess we don't have that one anymore.
No, we do not.
I think we might.
Your administration took care of that.
Oh, that was a good moment. And let me ask you about it. So you can see your candidate surviving in this fight all the way through June, certainly to the end of the season.
Absolutely.
It's not going to happen. She's not going to throw in the towel.
No.
And she told you that.
She's told me that. She's told her donors that. She's told her supporters that. She believes that she can win this nomination and she'll be the nominee.